He said, my name is Michael Mohler, and I'm a 35-year firefighter, EMT, from Fairfax County, Virginia. And I'm also president of Virginia Professional Firefighters, have been for 20 years, and I represent over 7,000 firefighters and paramedics all across the state of Virginia. And my part of this press conference is to explain to the General Assembly that they can't have it both ways. And I appreciate Delegate McClellan's bringing attention to what took place on the House floor, because although it was on the House floor, it typifies the kind of backroom deals that take place out of public view, where the stakeholders really can't stand there and present themselves, protect themselves. And I'm glad that the press is here today to help us shed light on this and give us an opportunity to protect ourselves. We have dedicated our lives and our careers to keeping people and property safe. But now we feel we must defend ourselves against a movement in the General Assembly to blame firefighters and other public employees for budget problems that we did not create. In the 20 years I've been president of Virginia Professional Firefighters, the General Assembly has paid the required contribution to the Virginia retirement system twice. With the recession and slow recovery, the VRS now has an estimated $24 billion unfunded liability that was not brought to you by public employees. Was brought to you by Wall Street and the Virginia legislature. And now the General Assembly is quite literally trying to pass the buck on the hard-working public employees. We firefighters did not create this problem. This unfunded liability has come about because the General Assembly decided not to fund the VRS in 18 of the last 20 years. I'm here to tell you this problem wasn't created overnight, and it's one that cannot be solved overnight with rash, politically driven solutions. Public employees make the Commonwealth great. To put this on their backs, on our backs, is an injustice and a disgrace. By not paying the state's required contribution to the VRS over the past 20 years, the General Assembly has contributed to the unfunded liability to the tune of $5 billion. In 2010, Governor McDonald borrowed more than $500 million from the employees of the Commonwealth to balance the state's budget, while he went on a road tour, being on Meet the Press, talking about 2 years of surpluses. What he didn't say is that those surpluses were created by money that they took from the Virginia retirement system. 2 years later, he's blaming the same employees he borrowed from for the shortfall, saying they should pay more towards VRS, and that the system has to be fixed now by cutting benefits to future and current employees. In 2010, with the governor's blessing, the General Assembly cut the pensions of employees in an effort to fix the VRS, House Bill 1789. New employees, Plan 2 employees, fire and police, not in Leos, including firefighters and police, now must work longer for a lesser pension. The governor also attacked employees, saying they weren't paying into VRS. This is nonsense. It's a political talking point that's cynically designed to make us look greedy. We are not greedy. We did not enter the fire service to become rich. All of us make a modest wage. Public employees have given up pay and other benefits for promise of a meager pension. The fact is, those in the Assembly calling for further cuts to VRS are not interested in fixing the pension system. They want to kill it altogether, not for fiscal reasons, but because they are ideologically opposed to pensions. They want to give our retirement plans to Wall Street, who will make billions and trillions on the fees that they'll be able to charge each and every one of us individually, so that they can bleed us to death with those fees. Pat Moynihan once said, "You're entitled to your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts." The facts do not support the actions of the General Assembly. Therefore, we must conclude that the actions of the Governor and General Assembly must be about ideology, not austerity. Punishing public employees will solve nothing. We are currently working with a broad coalition of labor groups to offer solutions that make sense and don't punish employees. We believe a constitutional amendment to require the General Assembly to pay the Commonwealth's required contribution to the VRS is necessary and prudent if VRS is to be healthy in the future. Those who say that House Bill 1130/Senate Bill 498 solves a $24 billion problem are delusional. The solution to facing the VRS, the challenges facing VRS, is quite simply fund the system in both good times and tough times. That's what we as families do. That's what the Commonwealth of Virginia must do. Thank you very much for your time.